Stop filled.
Okay, I thought in that case I thought we were gonna get low day. I think we just about didn't get it. If we take a look at trading view here, the momentum is definitely to the downside. We broke below like this like support area here. Where's my drawing tool at? We broke below that, so maybe we're gonna come back and retest it here. But I had a feeling we were gonna get low day there. We didn't. We stalled a little bit too much, so I ended up stopping out of that trade. Not a terrible trade there, but would have been better if we got follow through, right? But obviously we didn't get that. We gotta be careful today though. Yesterday was definitely a case of over trading. I'm gonna try to take no more than 5 trades today. Keep at a minimal, just regain a little bit of confidence on this account, and log that last day. So if we go look at the dashboard here, we got the 1 inconsistent day back, so now we have 2 inconsistent days to deal with, and we have 9 traded days. So after we just took that trade, so this is completed now. Looks like price is just consolidating here. Got to be careful because we don't do that great in consolidation. So we have this pit over here that I don't want us to lose, for the bears at least right now, for the target of hitting low days. So I like this. So it's established this point as a lower high here. So if we take something like that, I wouldn't mind that.
Order filled.
Alright, we got in there.
Stop filled.
Really don't want to take the loss here. So that was break even trade. It almost got us out there, but it didn't. Still looks like it kind of wants to go to the downside here. We're gonna be careful. Okay, we would have got stopped out there, so good on moving the stop loss. Look how close it got to our target, bro. I'm telling you, yesterday was definitely a frustrating day. Like, our entries weren't terrible, but we kept getting stopped out either for break even, and then it ended up going in our favor, or we would get stopped out for the full 4 points, and then it would go in our favor. Okay, so it broke that instant rejection though. Still like the short here.
Order filled. Order filled.
Kind of just want to lock in a little bit of a bigger gain there. So bring us up to 56 P&L on the day. So now if we take a loss, we'll only be down like a little bit here. So they've kind of, buyers are stepping in when we go into this zone right here, so gotta be careful with that.
Order filled. Order filled.
There we go. Okay, nice little win there. Okay, look like we were trying to change momentum here. If we look at trading view, we can see that we broke above this supply zone. But now we're coming down aggressively and breaking down below it. So once we come back on, things starting to look a little bit interesting. Might obviously want to lean short, but the other indexes are actually acting a little bit stronger here. You can see SPX almost came all the way up to test highs, looking a little bit better, but also coming back down. Russell, the strongest, obviously, it made fresh highs on this move up, nowhere near its lows. And then the Dow looked like it tested highs. Not sure if it made new highs or not, but also rejecting now. Huge rejection here on Nasdaq, so gonna keep an eye on it, but not any trades yet. So testing the zone again from the downside. Could potentially take it here and target somewhere near low of day.
Order filled.
To get there.
Stop filled.
Got stopped on that one.
Order filled. Stop filled.
Okay, we got stopped on that one. Gonna go ahead and take
Order
it.
filled. Order filled.
Okay, there we go. 125 winners, so back green on the day. Nice entry there. So we need to look for entries that are ideal, like that one. This one, I'm still okay with that one, but this one definitely, we could have eliminated that one for sure. Not happy with that entry at all.
Order filled. Order filled.
Okay, really quick trade there. Didn't even get a chance to like move, take profit or anything. Similar idea to what we've been trading before. Take a short position right before we test the pivot, put stop right above pivot, and see if we get the break of this pivot. But we're coming into the supply zone, previous rejection zone a couple times here in the past, so potential target back down here, but obviously we're going for scalps here, not the bigger move. If we were at all-time highs on the account equity curve, then maybe we'd go for that bigger of a move if we could take multiple contracts. But you know, since we're scalping here, that's the move we were looking for. But it would have been nice to extend the profit target a little bit more than what we got. But taking us back to the highest point we've been green today, 158.36. So happy about that. But definitely some trades we took today that could have been avoided. But overall, not too upset about our performance. Do feel like we kind of missed out by not moving take profit on that one though. But the trade was like, what, a couple seconds max. Looks like they gave us a chance to re-enter here. You can see that basically did the same pattern again, and we got that follow through continuation, but didn't take it unfortunately. But nice to see. So this is kind of like a topping out pattern here. Definitely would expect bears to hold this below this price if they want to see continuation into potentially seeing fresh lows here eventually in today's session. But yeah, wouldn't want to see price go back above this. If price goes back above here, the buyers definitely have the control for today's session. Might get that potential trade again, but want to watch how price is acting before jumping into that kind of trade. Big bounce here though. Definitely stepped in here from the zone. Wouldn't mind taking the short here. I'm hesitating. Looks like I should have taken it. Fuck. Could have had an entry somewhere right here. Yep, that was the entry. Fuck. My bad. Really feels like I should have done better on this move. See, the way I normally trade, once I saw something like this, I would have taken an entry somewhere here and still been holding that, because my stop loss wouldn't have been 4 points. My stop loss would have been 15, 20 points. And then obviously my target would be, I would have taken profits along the way, but I would have, had more than one contract and would have been still holding a piece of that. But that's another thing that gives me edge, I think. I think I'm good at identifying zones where, well, I mean, it's pretty common sense, right? But when price starts consolidating a lot, that's when you want to get your ideal entry and then wait for that bigger move to happen, right? I talked about this in previous videos I've made in the past, where price moves in like waves, where there's periods of consolidation and periods of extension. You want to catch the periods of extension, but you don't make the entry in periods of extension, right? Because it's hard to get your entry in this zone. You want to get it in that consolidation zone. That way, even if you end up being wrong, right, you have limited risk. And you're catching that expansion. So that's where your bigger reward comes into place. And then if you're wrong, right, you have limited risk, but the potential was there for a bigger move. Looks like we could have re-entered there, but we didn't take it. Here goes price. It's frustrating, right, when you have the right idea, but it doesn't, you can't execute it. Fuck, man. So there you go, my entry from here. This is where I would be taking profits with my normal strategy. We're gonna get fresh lows for sure. But I can't take an entry here because, again, It's very possible we get a 4-point bounce and I get stopped out if I chase down here. Let's probably add back size here. And here we go, session lows. Damn it, bro. Fuck. Unlucky, bro. Unlucky. I gotta get better at capitalizing on these type of days where I have a good feel on the market. I feel like today I had a good feel on the market. I gotta get my feel on the market, and I gotta get better at super scalping. I'm just not that good at super scalping yet. Fuck, man, it's frustrating. So the Bears ultimately won, and at least to me, this was giving me signs that they were gaining control, which is why I'm pretty sure every trade has been short today. Yep, catching little moves. This is the most frustrating one though. Well, I'm gonna let price do its things. I don't like to trade when price is near low day or high day. So we'll let price do its thing, and then I'll catch you guys later if I continue trading today. Just, I don't know, green day, but not as green as I would have hoped for, especially with the action we got. Definitely left a lot on the table to be desired. So definitely frustrated a little bit here, but that's how trading be, bro. That's how trading be. Get better.
Order filled.
Okay. So this is overnight session right now. That's why price is moving a lot slower. Not really a super scalp entry here, but I like the short. I like the fact that we made pivot. I would prefer if our stop loss was above fresh highs, but gonna leave it there. If we come into profits like $50 or something, which looks like it might come in here, I'm gonna move stop just above break even and see if this trade ends up working out as a short. You guys can see after the recorded session, so we were trading about this when we got fresh lows, then we got that bounce. I think I tried the short somewhere here, but it didn't end up working out. But you guys can see we got the ultimate move. See, so the entry here was fucking golden, bro. We had an entry somewhere there, I think, but ultimately, obviously, since we were only going for the scalp, it didn't amount to much. But that's what I'm saying, bro. Look for entries in consolidation zones where you see that you could potentially get a big move out of it. And even if you get the direction wrong, right, you have limited risk. That's what we have, stop losses. But if it does go in your favor, boom, you can catch a pretty significant move there. That was 120 points. And that's how I normally trade with my normal strategy, but with super scalping, obviously. So here we're up 670 points. Not gonna move stop loss, actually. I'm gonna leave it there. I'm going for the bigger trade here. Can't go for too big of a trade, or yeah, if we go for that big of a trade, we're gonna get another inconsistent day, so that's actually not in our favor. Let's go for just above that. That's a fine target right there. I'll leave it there. So that's gonna be my trade there. Again, not really a super scalp per se, but I like the trade idea, that we can potentially reject here and start fading back down. Potentially to make my normal target, if I was trading my normal strategy, would be fresh lows here, but obviously we can't do that because of inconsistent days, right? And if we get stopped out, whatever. I like the trade idea. But yeah, that's what I was talking about, the consolidation. So I can expect a big move to come out of there. You get your ideal entry somewhere here. I start getting signs of a breakdown or a breakout, and then you catch a decent move here. And you can see it respected the supply zones pretty nicely here. It built another zone somewhere right here as well. So we can go ahead and draw that out for potentially tomorrow. It could come into play. But yeah, those are the zones we're working with, and that's my trade idea. Hopefully it works out. Hopefully maybe it doesn't, but it's all good. Just wanted to make sure I recorded it because I'm documenting every single trade I'm taking with this account. So there you go. Alright, good morning guys. Oh shoot, I gotta move my take profit here. Okay, good morning guys. So obviously the count has fallen far from its peak, right? At our peak I think we hit like 11,800 something. So we've fallen about 1,000 from our peak, which is very unfortunate, but it happens. And I so episode 2 I just finished editing that and I'm about to post that right now. It's rendering. Episode 3 I'm not sure how I'm gonna go about it because I didn't end up recording a lot of the trades, so I don't even know whether this right now, this right now exactly what you're watching is episode 3, episode 4. I have no idea, but yeah, this is the update on the account. I'm switching the strategy. I'm no longer gonna be focused on super scalping. I'm gonna make a video explaining my thoughts on scalping versus longer term trading, and that should be out this weekend. Again, I don't know when this video right here that you're watching right now is going to be posted, so that might be in the past, that might be in the future, I don't know. But right now it's November 17th, so it's Friday, November 17th, so you guys will hopefully see this scalping versus longer term trading video the weekend of 18 and 19 of November. Anyways, we're currently in a short position. You can see it took us a couple attempts here before we got the ideal entry, and I took profits on the one contract. Now we're holding the second contract. I'm okay with letting this go all the way back to break even if it has to. If not, right now we're nicely in profit. If we were holding in NQ instead of MNQ, we would be up 800 something and we would be back to account highs almost, but it's okay. We're with MNQ right now, so you know, we're obviously going to make a lot less profit, but because of the drawdown we've taken on, I wanted to decrease size until we start building up that momentum. So right now we're up 140 on the day, which is good, but that is unrealized gain, so we cannot feel like that's profits that we already have locked in. It's up in the air right now, but hopefully this short ends up working out. If we go on TradingView here, it's to get a better idea of why I took this trade. You can see this supply zone was basically the reason why. We did end up breaking above it, but it didn't feel like it was a strong move to me, so I ended up taking the short, and luckily ended up working out in our favor. And now we're coming into this zone and we're starting to break below it, which is good, which means we can potentially target down here today, which if we get that move I would be extremely happy, and that would be a solid trade to get it started off. So I'm gonna make a full dedicated video on why I'm moving away from the super scalping, but basically it's because of this. If you guys look at episode 2, I feel like I had a good feel on the market that day. I wasn't too far off with my ideas, my reasons for entering trades. It was just the execution was off, but the execution was off because of the fact that it was super scalping. I feel like super scalping served as an impediment. I don't know if that's the right word. It was basically to our detriment, but basically I feel like super scalping was limiting profitable we could be. And the reason I got into super scalping in the very beginning was because I was curious, right? It was simply to test out a new strategy. Nice continuation here on this downturn. Ticks are positive 1,300, but we're seeing some major drawdown here. NYSE is extremely positive. What is going on here? Okay, big bounce there, huge bounce there. Still holding short. I think we should lower this a little bit, so at least we lock in like $10 if we get stopped out. Okay, we're back over 11,000, but again, we cannot act like that's our profit. It's not our profits yet. So we're trying to bounce here, but it's still market open, so we're going to see extremely high volatility. But I feel like we can target all the way down here, so I'm not going to rush into taking profits. But if we get stopped out for $10, it'll suck, but that's kind of the strategy we're going with here. Anyways, what I was saying is yeah, I feel like super scalping was making it harder to be profitable just in the way for that I trade. There is advantages to scalping, which again I will elaborate in that video that will be coming out. But at least for me, the way I look at markets, it's harder for me to be profitable scalping than it is using a strategy like this one. For this is still like intraday trading, right? I'm not, obviously I cannot swing positions with this TradeDay account, so the longest I can hold trades is going to be for like 6 hours, but usually the good trades are going to last 1-2 hours. But I'm able to catch a bigger move. Like this is what, from 9:15, almost a 50-point move here that we've caught. That's what I want to be going for, versus when we were scalping, we were going for 4-point moves. So, but that also means we're gonna need to have wider stops. And you can see in the super scalping, we got stopped out a lot of times where the idea that I had for the move wasn't yet invalidated, but because of the strict stop loss, we got stopped out. Many times that happened, or because I was moving the stop to break even or just above break even, and we would get stopped out before the idea gets invalidated. And that's part of that was my own fault for moving the stop loss, but part of that is because of the fact I'm dealing with such a small stop loss. It's hard to give the trade room to breathe. So with this strategy here, this is a lot more similar to how I normally trade. This is a strategy that I've traded for a long time now, where I look for ideal entries, which is what I was doing with the super scalping most of the time. I would look for those key pivot zones. I feel like I'm decent at identifying them. For example here, but I'm gonna give myself a little bit more room for the stop loss, and then I'm gonna try to get bigger moves, obviously. And another thing that I feel like makes me profitable is the way I manage trades. I usually like to take multiple contracts, which is unfortunately we cannot do this with this account if we're trading E-mini, so we might have to transfer to micros where we can take multiple contracts, and like in this case, lock in some profits. That way, if the second contract ends up getting stopped out break even, at least we walk away with some profits. But if the second contract ends up running like this, then this win, this $100 win, it is basically like 5R, right? We're making 5 times what we would be risking on a normal trade, which allows us. That's what makes us profitable in the long run, right? These bigger wins here, these home run type of trades. And with super scalping, it was just hard to do that. But if you look at the 9 sessions that I traded, when I was doing it on not this funded account, so I wasn't limited to only one NQ. I feel like what allowed me to be profitable, like if you look at those 9 sessions, add up every single trade, every single P&L, I'm pretty sure I came out to be profitable. The reason I came out to be profitable was not because I was super scalping, but it was in spite of the fact that I was super scalping, because of the fact that I was adding to my winners, or to the positions where I felt a little bit more confident. I would increase the size 2-3 times what I would take on a normal trade. And because I was extending the take profit, which basically goes against the nature of super scalping, right? The nature of super scalping is that you're going to have very small, and obviously there's people that super scalp with, let's say, a little bit wider stop loss than I do. I do a 4-point stop loss, 4-point take profit. Some people do it with 5-point stop loss, 7-point take profit. And I think that's smarter. If you're going to be super scalping, I feel like that's the way to go. And maybe I need to experiment with that. But as far as the 4-4, it's very, very, very tough, because that basically means you need to have a higher than 50% win rate. And it's hard to do that, right? It's hard to do that. Here we go. Nice continuation here. I think I'm going to take profits soon, which goes against my theory of going all the way, but I really do not want this to go all the way back and stop me out. So, or maybe what I can do is do something like this and keep extending this down. Okay, I like that idea instead. Move down our stop loss, and so at least we lock in what? $57. Okay, I'm okay with that. because now we're risking about $50 of our open P&L to make an additional $50. So that's 1-to-1 risk reward here. I like that. Now we're hitting 120, so let's kind of like trail it, so it's at 70-ish now. Perfect. Here when we make fresh lows, you guys might not like the line chart. I like it because I can see my executions better, but let's switch it over to candle. Once we make fresh lows here, I'm gonna move it to 80. There we go. And I'll leave my take profit here at 156 if we hit that. So if you hit 140, I'll move it to 90. Anyways, what I was saying was, yeah, the reason I was profitable in if you add up those 9 sessions that I did, original sessions, it was because I was extending the take profit and adding size on the ones I felt really comfortable in. I feel like that's what attributed to most of my profitability. But that kind of goes against the fact that I was super scalping, right? Like, it wasn't like super scalping isn't an edge. Super scalping is just a style of trading, right? Just like swing trading, that's not an edge. It's basically the time frame you're looking at, and which will dictate how many points you're going to be going for, your stop loss, how wide it can be. And so super scalping is just a style of trading, but super scalping itself is not an edge, right? That's not your edge. And what got me thinking about this was a comment on the Discord, and this is why I enjoy being part of trading communities, because it gets you, at least for me, it makes me start thinking, considering stuff. And I'm always thinking about the markets regardless, but like when people ask certain questions, I feel like okay, here we go. I'm pretty sure we hit 140-ish there, so I'm gonna move it to 90 now. Just trailing my stop loss here. Nice move here though. What was I saying? Oh yeah, what got me thinking about that was somebody was asking, has anybody made a video like describing edge and stuff? And I responded to him. I think I'll try to post what I responded to him on the screen right now. And I basically gave him an example of one of my edges, which is a pattern I use, which I've talked about extensively before on this channel and my other channel that I used to upload trading videos on. It's called Nats Trades. You guys can go check that out. But I've talked about the H pattern before. Let's make it really tight now. Don't want to give back too many of these gains. Gonna exit it there.
Order filled.
Nice trade. Sub 200 on the day with M and Q. This is strictly M and Q, I believe. So that's pretty impressive. As I was saying, so the edge, like I said, I need to, for this funded account, I want to have a defined edge. And so this could be our edge here, supply and demand zones. So for the rest of this challenge, funded account, whatever journey, I'm only going to be taking trades when we're in a zone. So this trade that we just took was from this zone, and we're going to be risking 10 points on our stop loss, and we're going to be trading multiple contracts so we can take profits along the way and let that last contract run. That's going to be part of our edge. So super scalping is not an edge, it's just a way of trading. And I kind of do want to continue with some kind of scalping, just not necessarily super, at least not the 4-point super scalp. I don't think I'm going to return to that. It was too tight. It was fun to experiment with it, and that's all it was. It was just fun. But it's just really hard to be profitable like that, because like I said, the way I trade and the way I look at markets is I like to catch these big moves, and if I don't catch them, I get frustrated, and that leads to me emotionally trading, like you kind of saw in the past episode 2. I got really mad when I didn't catch that trade to fresh highs, and I literally got ticked out on the bottom. And then there's another example, which I think you guys have seen at this point, where it was overnight session. I think it had just opened, think I can actually go back and show you guys. It was here. Ay ay ay. I took a short here, but again, the supply zone, that was the reason for entering the trade, and because I saw initial weakness right side of the V, I took a short here. Had a 4-point stop loss because of the goddamn super scalp. I got stopped out here. And it hit our fucking target, bro. I was so pissed. And then that itself wasn't that big of a loss, but I ended up retrying the short somewhere over here because I was so emotionally trading. I wasn't even at my computer. I executed it on my phone, so I didn't even have the brackets open, the brackets on that trade. So that trade ended up being like a $300 loss because, again, I didn't have the stop loss set up with the bracket correctly. Got stopped out, then retried the short a couple more times, stopped out, and that's how the account ended up coming down to 10,800 or whatever it was. Yeah, that was, should not have taken that exit. Kind of mad at myself for doing that stupid mistake. Yeah, hit our target. Boom. Why did I prematurely exit that trade? I don't know. Our brains are flawed, bro. Our emotions are flawed here with trading, but it's okay. It's decent trade still, but too early of an exit for no reason. The issue is not that it ended up coming down here. It's that there was no indication that I should sell there. There's no, yeah, you understand. But alright, so now that we've built up a cushion again, I think next trade I'll take with 3 contracts, and that way I could take profits here, have taken some profits here, and then that way I feel more comfortable holding this one all the way down. Or at least ideally, right? Anyways, I've been rambling a lot this session. Be episode 3. If I can edit it correctly, I will include. So last episode we ended at 11,200, I believe. Episode 2. This episode will show you guys me going all the way down to 10,800 or whatever the lowest point was, and ending the episode here at 11,033. Maybe I'll record Monday too, because I want to end today's episode at a higher balance than what we ended last episode, at least ideally, but we'll see how Monday goes. Next week is also a shorter week, I believe, because Thanksgiving. So should I just include all of next week into episode 3? We'll see, depending on how many trades I take and how long it takes me to edit this episode 3, because episode 2 took me quite a bit of time to edit. There was a lot of clips I had to put together and stuff, cut out, allow you guys to understand where I'm coming from with the not really wanting to super scalp anymore, or at least not finding a huge edge in it, at least for me, the way I trade and the way I view markets. It's, you know, with the way I was taking entries and stuff, it's not ideal for super scalping. It's ideal for these at least like an hour, 2 hour long trades, which is how I normally trade. So, I mean, I guess it makes sense. I never developed an edge for super scalping. I guess you can develop an edge for super scalping. I'm sure you can. I'm not saying you can definitely be profitable super scalping. It's just, at least in my opinion, harder to do so. At least for the way I trade. Let me know if you guys are super scalpers or longer term traders. I'm interested to know. I'm guessing a lot of you guys are scalpers, because if you found my channel, you likely were typing in scalping or something, or you found me through Iman, who also scalps. So I'm guessing a lot of you guys scalp. Let me know how you guys, your edge in entries. Like, what do you guys look for in entry? Maybe I was looking at it wrong. Maybe ideal entries for scalping are like here, right? When you're about to break down, you get that momentum and you get that quick 4 points in your favor. Boom, you can have a high win rate like that. Like, I'm sure I can find strategies that are a high win rate for scalping, and if I'm doing something like a 5 stop loss, 7 take profit, I'm sure it's a little bit more favorable to be profitable. But again, I should have stopped recording 20 minutes ago. Why am I still recording? Goodbye, guys. Goodbye. Okay, I know I said goodbye, but look how perfectly it bounced off that demand zone. Why didn't I take that trade, bro? Man. Sometimes, good trade and back into the supply zone. I could take the re-entry in the short here, but let's see. How are other indexes acting? Ooh. SPX significantly weaker. Whoa. Okay. Unless NQ is leading the way up, I kind of like the short here. Oh, please don't fucking.
Order filled.
God dang it, bro. Should have market ordered it right away. Now I'm only in with one contract. Frustrating bullshit. No, that's too early. I'm not gonna extend take profit on this one because I don't have multiple contracts. So I can't do what I did here where I take profits on one at 1-to-1 risk reward and then let the other one run. Sorry about that. I always forget to turn that shit off. I should just turn off my notifications on TradeDay for my phone. Actually, I might extend take profit. But I'm gonna obviously it's being kind of bouncy here though. Let's see. Good rejection there. Could do like a double top before. I mean, should we target all the way down here? Other indexes are weak, bro. Unless, like I said, NQ is gonna drag them up. NQ should follow them. We gotta listen to what price is doing. Okay, why am I trading on a line chart? My shit's being hella slow too. What the fuck? It's frozen. It's frozen. Oh, it's because I'm rendering a video right now. Shit. That's why it's being slow. I'm rendering episode 2. I hate how like this will barely
Order filled.
There you go. If I get stopped at break even, it barely covers commissions. That's the annoying part about trading fucking MNQ, bro. We should be trading NQ right now, but again, because we're in a drawdown right now, we're not at equity highs. If we were at account highs, I would fucking for sure be trading E-minis right now, and that would have been a $245 win. This would have been a what? $1,000 win? Oh my god, bro. Oh my god. With one NQ. With one. We would be at account highs right now if I was in a pussy. It's okay though. If this comes all the way down, it's my own fault for not holding it. Like, there is no reason to sell there, but I wish I would have got filled on that original fucking entry. It would have been okay, I'm just frustrated right now. I'm frustrated as fuck. Because see, this is what I'm talking about, like with super scalping. If I don't catch the entire move, this is what I always fucking preach. If market is acting in a way that is favorable to your edge, you gotta fucking capitalize. And if this ends up going all the way down here and I didn't capitalize on that, that makes it harder for me to be profitable, because the reason I entered this trade was because of the chance that we could come all the way back down. This acts as a supply zone. If this is indeed a supply zone, then a reasonable target to have is all the way down here. But obviously it's not always going to play out like that, which is why I like to take multiple contracts so I can lock in gains along the way and feel more comfortable letting that other contract run to its full potential. But because I only got filled on one contract because that other contract was being a bitch and didn't get filled because I clicked joined ask, I'm paying for it now. But looks like price is bouncing here anyways, which doesn't mean it's not going to continue unless we break these highs. The idea is not invalidated. You know, it's not just going to go in a straight down line, at least not usually. But anyways, got that other little trade there. Sucks that we missed long though. I feel like should have caught that long there too, right off the demand zone. It was clear as day, bro. It played out perfectly, so we should have caught that, but at least we caught that second leg down a little bit. So GG's, I guess. Alright, looks like the trade's getting some nice continuation here to the downside. Beautiful stuff, bro. Played out basically perfectly, bro. Like, this would have been the ideal entry, obviously. We just didn't have the patience to let it play out. And it gave us the re-entry too, and this actually is higher confidence entry here. You can make an entry here on the right side of the V as this starts pivoting, and place your stop right above here. Don't have to risk too many points, and you could have been taking some profits here, and then if we had multiple contracts, obviously, and let your rest one run into low of day, and then take some profits there, and then leave a runner in case we do get that even further continuation to the next zone down, which I don't have any zone below that drawn, but I would guess it's somewhere over here. I could go ahead and draw that. So you could potentially target that once if this zone gets broken. So a little bit annoying there. Also on this trade, I just seen this could have been definitely spots to add to the trade as it gets breakdown, because we basically saw the same move 4 times. You got here, you got the move down, no continuation, and again touches the supply zone, gets to move down, no continuation. Same thing 3 times. This one started to get continuation, but no, it eventually bounced. 4th time it happens, and then we do get that consolidation. So if account was at all-time highs, I probably would have added here, but again, because I trade very differently, I trade a lot more protectively, or I guess just I trade a lot more like a pussy when my account's not at all-time highs, versus if account balance was at all-time highs, I trade a lot more aggressively. I also do that on a day-to-day basis. If I'm very green on the day, I'll trade a lot more aggressively, versus if I'm on red on the day, I get a lot more protective, and there you go, fresh lows are coming. All you can do is take a deep breath in. Life is beautiful, isn't it, guys? It really is, but it's okay, guys. It's okay, guys. That's a perfect H pattern there too as well. For those of you guys that aren't aware of what the H pattern is, it's right here perfectly. H pattern is just a trend continuation pattern. That's all it is. And that you're likely going to get a bounce, and then you get that second leg down if the trend is indeed a trend, right? And that's all the H pattern is, but we missed out on it, so it doesn't even matter. It's okay though. Not going to catch every single move. This one was catchable for sure, but we just didn't do it, which is okay, because like I said, life is beautiful. See you guys later.